Right now, there is a $38 trillion parasite attached to the American economy, and it is feeding directly from your mailbox. For the first time in history, the average interest rate on new credit card offers has smashed through the 23% ceiling. Meanwhile, the U.S. government is incinerating nearly $1 trillion a year just to make minimum payments on its own tab. You aren't just a bank customer anymore. You are the fuel source for a K-shaped engine designed to transfer purchasing power from those who earn wages to those who own debt. This isn't a glitch in the software. It's the operating system. Let's look at the crime scene. Your weekly grocery run. You're standing at the checkout. You've got the basics: eggs, ground beef, maybe coffee. You look at the total and feel that sinking sensation in your gut. The headlines claim income is up 27% since 2020, but the cost of existing has risen 25%. On a spreadsheet, you're breaking even. In reality, your bank account is running on fumes. So, what do? You reach for the sleek, heavy metal credit card. You swipe it, telling yourself, "I'm getting 2% cash back. I'm hacking the system." Here is the brutal truth. You aren't hacking anything. You are walking into a mathematical kill box. While you celebrate earning $5 in reward points, the bank's algorithm is calculating the $40 in interest they are about to harvest from your rolling balance. You think you're using the bank's money to float your expenses, but with APRs hitting nearly 24%, the bank is actually taking a lien on your future labor. They are betting on the statistical certainty that life will happen. A flat tire, a medical bill, and that 2% reward will instantly mutate into a 24% shackle. This is the financial Hunger Games, and the House has rigged the arena. We need to zoom out, because this isn't just about bad spending habits. It's about a structural anchor dragging the entire middle class into the abyss. Total household debt has exploded to $18.8 trillion. But the mortgage isn't the scary number. It's the plastic. Credit card debt has shattered the $1.28 trillion mark, the highest level recorded since the Fed started tracking the data in 1999. Now, turn on the TV, and you'll hear economists call the U.S. consumer resilient. Be very careful with that word. When a banker calls you resilient, they don't mean you're thriving. They mean you are obedient. They mean you are willing to burn through your savings and leverage your future just to keep the GDP positive today. They ignore how you are spending. You aren't spending from surplus. You are spending from deficit. And here is the cruelest irony. While the average indebted household is drowning in $179,000 of liabilities, the Federal Reserve issues reports claiming the economy is robust because of ample home equity. But who holds that equity? The asset class. This is the great divide. The wealthy are shielded by what they own. The rest are exposed by what they owe. To understand why this trap is unavoidable for so many, look at the tracks the train is running on. Decades ago, we had productivity-based growth. We built cars, exported steel, and farmed land. Now, we have shifted to debt-based growth. The system requires you to be in the red. If the American consumer actually stopped borrowing tomorrow, the economy would seize up. Look at the debt train at the federal level. In 2021, U.S. government interest payments were $352 billion. By 2025, that number tripled to $970 billion. The government is effectively broke, so they need to keep interest rates high to attract lenders. Who pays the price for those high rates? You do. You pay it on the car lot. You pay it at the closing table. You pay it every time you swipe that Visa. Here's a statistic that should terrify you. The last time consumer debt actually decreased in the fourth quarter was 2010. Since then, the line has only gone up. This isn't because people suddenly forgot math. It's because the cost of living has outpaced the value of labor. Let's break down the anatomy of the trap using the treadmill concept. The speed of the treadmill is your APR. In 2021, the treadmill was at a light jog. Money was cheap. Today, with rates averaging 23.77%, the treadmill is sprinting. You have to work, hustle, grind, side gig 24% harder just to stay in the exact same spot. If you stumble, you get thrown off the back. This creates the K-shaped recovery. Picture the letter K. The top arm goes up. These are the asset owners. When inflation hits, the price of their real estate and stocks rises. They use debt as a lever, borrowing against assets at lower rates to buy more assets. Inflation makes them richer. The bottom arm goes down. These are the debt holders. When inflation hits, rent goes up, groceries go up, and the cost of servicing debt goes up. They use debt as a life raft. Inflation makes them poorer. The banking system functions as a vacuum cleaner, sucking wealth from the bottom of the K and depositing it at the top. So, how do you escape a casino where the dealers can change the rules? Most gurus tell you to skip the latte. That's insulting. A coffee habit didn't create an $18.8 trillion debt bubble. To escape, you have to stop acting like a consumer and start acting like an insurgent. Here is your battle plan. Phase 1. Math over marketing. Stop chasing points and miles if you carry a balance. If you are paying 24% interest to earn 2% cash back, you are the victim of a hustle. If you have credit card debt, paying it off offers a guaranteed 24% return on investment. There is no stock, no crypto, and no real estate deal on earth that guarantees you a 24% tax-free return. Paying that debt is the smartest investment you can make. Phase 2. Liquidity is liberty. Big banks rely on your inertia. They offer convenience while charging predatory rates. Look at the data. Major banks are pushing these 23% plus APR offers aggressively. Defect. Move to credit unions or community banks. They have lower overhead and often have rate caps. Stop being loyal to a logo that views you as a yield farming experiment. Phase 3. Strategic deleveraging. Use the avalanche method. List your debts by interest rate, highest to lowest. Ignore the size of the balance. Attack the highest rate first. Any debt over 15% is a financial emergency. It is a fire in your living room. Put it out before you buy new furniture. Phase 4. Switch sides. This is the long game. You must move from the bottom of the K to the top. The data proves that those with assets remain resilient. You need to stop financing depreciating liabilities like cars or gadgets and start acquiring appreciating assets. You need to transition from a renter of money to an owner of capital. The system is engineered to reward the lender and punish the borrower. The government isn't coming to save you. They are too busy figuring out how to survive their own debt crisis. The only way to win is to refuse to play their game. Stop using debt to signal status and start using your capital to buy freedom. This isn't about being frugal, it's about being furious. Furious enough to stop being the fuel for someone else's engine. Now you understand the mechanics of the trap. The question is, do you have the discipline to walk around it? If you want to understand more about the systems governing your financial life, hit that subscribe button. We break down the economy they don't want you to understand every single week. The game is rigged, but that doesn't mean you have to lose. Thanks for watching.